Time to talk to One Nation leader, Senator Pauline Hanson. Pauline, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
Let's talk about these dualling Medicare policies. We've got the government throwing $8.5 billion at bulk billing as if that's the be-all and end-all of the health system and that'll fix everything. And then the coalition's silly enough to say, we'll match it.
It's not the answer to everything, and as has been pointed out, there's that much fraud that goes on in Medicare, Steve. It's up to $3 billion a year. Now, throwing more money at it, what you're exacerbating the whole issue. Should be a full investigation into Medicare, see where the money's going, how it's been spent. Also, the fact is that doctors, a lot of them aren't going into the practice of GP, so they're going to specialists because GPs don't get paid a really good wage. And then you've got the increase in costs that's going up in electricity, wages. This is all under Labor.
Yep.
Okay, it's all the costs have gone up more and more. What I've proposed also to stop the fraud is to put your photo ID on the Medicare card. A lot of people, and I was told this by the federal police in 1996, that they actually are coming in from overseas, using their friends or family's cards. These are people from overseas countries, using the card, going to it, using our doctors, our hospital services, and they get in scripts, and they take the scripts back, these medications back to their own country and put it sell them on the black market. Or they're getting their hospital attention here. There is so much fraud that's going on here. Now, I got them to do an inquiry into it. They said, oh, no, we're not going to do it. So they didn't go ahead with this. Clean up the fraud that's going on. Yes, we need to look at the cost of rebates, and yes, we will increase the rebates, but they said it won't be till 2030 that they're actually going to be able to give them 90% rebate back for the doctors. Yeah, increase the number of doctors we have.
It's extraordinary that it's just look. You're leading in an election when the two major parties just start throwing cash around, and I think that's what this is. Now, I want to talk about one of your policies, and I think this is absolutely brilliant. You're proposing removing, a reform at least to alcohol excise duties, because I don't know what the exact percentage is, but if you're going to have a schooner in a pub or a club, the majority of it is tax.
It is tax on the majority of it. It varies between wine, beer and spirits. Yep. The tax on it is totally different. What I'm proposing is get rid of the excise tax in all hospitality venues, right? Whether it's hotel, clubs, restaurants, wherever they sell alcohol over the counter, not in the bottle shops, okay? Excise will stay there. I'm trying to get people back into hospitality venues. They think it's fantastic. It's been going up since Bob Hawke introduced the excise tax on alcohol. It's been going up there twice a year.
Yeah.
On a bottle of rum, you'll probably pay about $40 tax on a bottle of rum.
Extraordinary.
That's how much tax is on it. It's ridiculous. And the government's making so much money out of it. It's hurting the people out there, cost of living. They're not going out to dinner. They can't afford to go out. They can't afford to go and, after a hard day's work, go and have a pot of beer. A schooner of beer. It's just ridiculous. Let's get rid of it. Let's help the industries.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea, and I've often said that because the concept of an excise is supposed to stop people from doing something, but by all means, have responsible service of alcohol so people aren't overdoing it. But if you want to go and enjoy a couple of beers from time to time, you shouldn't have to go broke doing it. Now, you've also called for tariffs on Australian steel or an imported steel here. Isn't this just going to push the price of everything up?
No, well, I tell you what, the first time they did bring the tariffs in was in the early 1900s to protect industries and manufacturing in Australia, and that was around the time of the war. And the fact is that we had the first steel mill was in Newcastle, and they realised that once they did put the tariffs on in Australia, that's when we protected our own industries and manufacturing. Since we got rid of them, what have we done? We've lost all our industries manufacturing. We're bringing in steel from China, $1.6 billion a year. It's destroyed our own industries here. We can't compete with the cheap labour that they over in these other countries. And we've lost, footwear, clothing, small goods, white goods. We used to make lawnmowers, cars, everything here. It's all gone, Steve. So you tell me where tariffs have actually helped us.
Yeah, but Pauline, surely we're better off investing in cheaper electricity. That'd fix the problem.
Of course, and I've always said that, Steve, all along. Every time on radio program here, is the cost of electricity. That's why a lot of them are going under. But it's about time we started protecting our own industries and manufacturing, because what are we going to do? Become a tourist country, just turning down beds for other people, just come here because they want to be tourists. We've got to have a diversity of jobs and produce the products that we have here to actually protect ourselves against bringing imports all the time.
Pauline, I think a lot of people would agree with you. Good to talk to you. We'll catch up next week.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Bye.
Senator Pauline Hanson back